Meek Mills. This is for the rapper Meek Mills. I've been knowing about you for a long time, Meek Mills. And I know that you lied with MO3 and you ate steaks with him and boosting him. I want you to know something. Because Meek Mills, you're dealing with foreign affairs. You're dealing with a lot of people in this situation. And right now, Trump and the senators know watching you in that video. So right now, since everybody want to be racial towards me in hip hop, we just filed a civil rights suit against the industry of Philadelphia. Okay, since in the industry against you for $30 million in your black hip hop community. This is it's not the way this is supposed to go. I was just trying to attack Social Security, but y'all wanted to lie, Mick Mills. And I think the senators already know already, right? So since I know every industry around the world, I want you to know since I know every industry around the world, Mick Mills, and I just filed a civil suit, a complaint against the Philly and for you threatening, right? You know when you set up there with MO3, y'all didn't have that blueprint. Y'all are so greedy. You know when you watch the video when you make MO3 talking about you eat meal with Boosie them and the rest of y'all. You know you didn't have that blueprint, Nick Mills. I hear you talking, God hear you talking, America hear you talking, we all hear you talking, Nick Mills. But this is beyond your reach. This is beyond your reach. My issue was to attack Social Security, but y'all made this personal when name callings was going out in Carrollton, Texas, Mid Mills. I hear that freestyle and actually islands and all the rest of it. But let me tell you, God said we're not going to respond back with violence. We just made a little complaint on your industry and sued you for $30 million for threatening. The threat was being called out to me in 2019. So God said it's only right that we have a consequences for those actions and those people with action. I didn't start this, Mick Mills. And I'm on your YouTube channel. And God said, I want you to hear me. And I want you to hear me really clear, Mick Mills. You know when MO3 said in that video, you eat steaks together. I've been knowing about you. Why you think that song that I made a complaint about? You think I didn't know? You think Senator Ted and them didn't know? Bring up that nigga, you try to stop my relationship. I don't have to go with Sabina no more. I don't have to be with Marissa or Sabina no more. You think that's the problem. But I don't have to be with none of these hoes that you so claim with. They don't believe in stuff. I want millennials to hit me because I'm on my other tablet. I don't have to right now, the senator number and Trump number watching your social media. Because you're dealing with a lot of foreign people. And you're dealing with a lot of business. And I really don't have time for this because if I leave America with this blueprint, you're gonna be wiped out. Hip hop won't exist. Hip hop was the most one powerful state between first and China and everything. Imagine this, I go in Paris and I've been connecting on different apps. Live Me, Buzzcat, Big Live, people in Chicago, and everybody else. I'm interacting with the fans. Let me tell you something, Mick Mills, which you're not aware of. I just wasn't going on Live Me and Buzzcat, this playing my music and doing all the rest of those things. I just wasn't on Live Me doing that. Let me tell you what I was doing. I was playing my music and listening to everybody and connecting with people from Chicago, Detroit, and all the rest of them. And some people say, Hubert, I hope your dreams come true on Live Me on different apps. I've been promoting. Why Texas and Dallas been on the same stuff. When I came back from Atlanta and I started communicating with people, Trump knows this already, right? And I started connecting with people. I just wasn't on social media just to promote music. I was up there interacting with people. One of the guys I just talked on my live, and he's from another state. He said, Hubert, I hope you make it. Most people, they don't like to listen in the conversation when we talking. When do you use the screen? I say, what one place you want to go? He told me on live. He said, I want to go because I've been interacting. I've been on that app for a long time. But it came with a lot of jealousy. And it came with a lot of other stuff with this dude, Callie, that's on tour. He picked jealousy over a person that was willing to put himself out there. And Trump knows that, right? Hillary Clinton knows that I was willing to put myself down out there, but Dallas was stuck on social media. You think I don't know about you? You think Senator Ted don't know about you? You think they don't know about you when that camera hit that thing? This was about Social Security, guys. But the name calling in Carrollton, Texas, and the name calling Trap Boy Fred and them lying, that is not right. Y'all black people, y'all say y'all trying to fight for something greater, but you calling each other out his names. You ain't my way and you ain't God way. I say me in the Senate, I just filed a civil suit on every legislator in every state because of racism against a disability. So I just filed a civil suit on racism from every state. I don't have no beef with the Bloods and Crips. They not my. I don't have nothing. Goons. I have no. But if they don't like me, what can I do? What God can do in these jobs and these things? What can I do when I'm fighting for something greater? What can I do? God said we gotta take the highs and the lows. We gotta take it how we get it. The guy that did something with Boosie, Bullet Kelly, he never met me in a day in his life. But he threatened me and did what he needed to do. And he never met me in a day in his life. I'm a great, intelligent person, and he never met me in a day in his life. The senators have been watching you for a long time. Trump never been watching. Why is it sense for all of that? And I'm arguing with you. You know when MO3 lied and took that blueprint with Trap Boy Freddie, you know he was lying. You know this, and Trump them knows it. But I bet you people in Russia knows it too, and Paris them know it too. When people wanted to be on my team, right? Trump know what's at stake. Joe Biden them know what's at stake here. They know what's at stake. Not just the music building, other things, ideas I came with is at stake. That you know what's at stake. That's just not that's not at stake. Let me tell you something. God's gonna make sure the last time Social Security workers disrespect disability and treat this. We making sure this happen, a neglect and abuse. I don't care. You're fighting to just have money. But I'm fighting because of the workers or mistreatment. When I can get on different apps, Mills, and talk to people on different apps. And I can talk to people on different apps, Mills. And I can talk to people on different apps. And we can come to a great understanding talking to people on different apps. Those are more understanding. People in Dallas and Carrollton, and while I say I'm a joke, they're a joke. That guy in Switcher House, what he doing? He signed to somebody. He's a slave. Hubert Hubert Jr. Sellers, Baby Sellers, Hubert Sellers, Junior. Is type in Hubert Sellers, Baby Legend. I'm on different Instagram. Y'all gonna see, but I'm on TikTok. I don't depend on Instagram because if you ain't doing nothing stupid, if you don't have money, I have to learn how to network, guys. And those are the things I've been doing since I was in Atlanta and all of those things. And those are the things I've been doing and connecting with people. And people got to realize something. I'm not just talking about my music with everybody on different apps on Live Me. I'm not just doing that. I'm listening to them. I'm hearing what they got to say, and I'm not making it all about me when I'm on different broadcasts. And you got to understand that when I'm DJ playing, when Akon was on Live Me and Likey on Live Me, Akon was on there with somebody. Akon was on there on Live Me with a DJ and everybody was mad because he was on there with an artist, a DJ from the hood, Akon. One thing about me, I don't need, one thing about me, I interacted with them. I didn't just want to hear about me. They told me about their situation and what they want. I listened. And sometimes I sat there and I put my comments on different platforms. I put my comment in and I did what I needed to do and and play my music and I listened to what they had to say. I didn't always listen to my needs and what I wanted when I'm on Live Me and Likey and on other different UP Live. I didn't listen to my care about only about my needs. And I think it was more about just listening to everybody else and just doing my thing on my phone and just be able to listen to everybody. And I think that's one of the things when I was on the broadcast of me just connecting with everybody, that was so much more different than anything of just listening. The key of listening to people and not just being on YouTube and not no. I was on they on their screen on Live Me on YouTube and from Chicago and New York and I'm on they on my screen and I'm on their screen and I'm listening to them and they got 4 or 5 different streams and they tell me I tell them I get to know me and they get to know me and I get to know them but also I'm listening to them and I have to come to understanding of them too. I just can't. My things are never to argue with somebody. You know what I'm saying? But we can find a way to work out our difference. Don't argue with people. And when I see the spirit, facial expression, I will retreat and try to see if we can talk it out. And we can't. We're gonna have to just stop being friends and see if we can relocate and rethink it and meet back up in a later one. And I think that with my mindset, and I think if I get into arguments with people, I think that just stop it and separate each other from a little while, and separate from each other from a little while until we come back together and we after a while we do our thing and we come back together and work out our issues and work out how we can help each other out. And that's the most important thing. Things are never set in stone on how we communicate with each other. Love your neighbors and love your brothers and sisters, but never argue with them about their point of views. And I think if I was in that friend situation with giving a kid, I would say, look at man, let's restructure the situation and come back. We're gonna talk this out. We're gonna do this situation. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna meet back up and say if I can work out your differences and I can work out my difference. It's about strategizing on every piece of plan that we have. I'm not with all of that, man. I get on some of these broadcasts, people go off on me and they don't even know me. And all of that. I talked to a guy in Tennessee and like I never seen his play for us. How you doing? How do I get that, man? Because I'm intrigued by what you're doing. Like I'm not hating on him, but I like what you have, man. I'm not hating on you. I like what you have. How do I get those things? You know what I'm saying? How do I get those things? Like, and when I was in New Orleans as a kid, when a person stabbed me, this girl went to New Orleans jail court, and this girl brother, I remember going to the New Orleans court. This girl brother came and checked up on me. He always came, and this is back in the day with Lil Wayne and T Streets and them, and Gutter and them was in there, and I stayed there. I used to act like a wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And after I got stabbed, my friend taught me how to swim in the East apartment in New Orleans and taught me how to swim. And he said, Hubert, you don't know how to swim? So he took me in the East apartment with Victor and Vince and them. God said, don't forget the things that you got taught on the way and you can know. When I played in the Fantasy Wing band, as a kid that peed in a girl's mouth and smacked in the mouth and peed in the mouth and they fucked in the tree of the Fantasy Wings middle school. And I actually do like, because I was cool with them. Actually, I did it to that girl like that, man. They're like, you right? Hope. And like, and like, and they don't even remember this under the tree at Fantasy Williams in New Orleans. And I asked them like, and then like, and then like, and they were telling me about that. But this kid right here that went to jail, he was like Hubert. He had we played cymbals. And he was like Hubert, the band director for Fantasy Winds. And he would listen to the beat. Listen. Don't just play the play, listen to it. And me just remembering myself being on it, me sacrificing those things. And me, I had to carry a drum. I had to carry a broken drum in a parade. I had to sacrifice for my team while my other band members played something. And me understanding the sacrifice that I had to make when I was in New Orleans parade and Fantasy Williams on the West Bank. And knowing that I had to carry a Zant through the Zulu parades, through all of those parades, and all of those things, the sacrifice I had to hold, and those things were more important to understand me of carrying that drum all the way through. And I used to act like a wrestler. I used to get Stone Cold Steve Austin and doing all of this stuff. And everybody said, one day BG cousin came. I said, Hubert, I want you to stay your badass out of trouble. And I remember BG coming with a green and black motorcycle. And I want y'all to stay your bad ass out of trouble. And Birdman don't even remember him. I saw him in the mall. He had on a white collar t-shirt, some blue jeans, and his collar shirt was kind of different. The neck was different. And he had a flip phone. This boy, he had a flip phone. And I remember in the mall as a kid, I stared at him. He was about to register. He probably don't even remember. And he was about to register. And I remember standing everywhere like that girl standing at Young Jeezy. And like, this is from a person from my city, like from New Orleans, Birdman. And this was the person from my city. And I was like, hold up. I remember standing at Birdman. I used to see Lil Wayne them in the T Streets. When Lil Wayne T Street gave Gutta them on the phone, we used to stay in this girl apartment. Used to stay in this girl apartment, being this girl. One of the squad members used to mess with this girl. And we used to always chill at our house. And I used to watch one of the squad members talk back and forth with this girl. When we used to be at her house, she let us eat. She let us do what we want. We chill and do what we want in there and stuff and all the rest of that while she messed with the squad. We used to play basketball. One day, Victor and Vincent got caught on Canal Street with Squad Up. They let us have basketball goals in our party. So one day, we got caught on, they got caught. I'm asking Victor and Vincent, where your mom at? They got caught on the streets. That same car was Shake It Like Beyonce. Don't forget about Beyonce. I saw Gutta and them come with a thick. I was too damn bad. I remember us breaking into the snack machine in the apartments. And we broke into the snack machine in the East apartment where Lil Wayne's Screech and them stayed there. And we shared that whole box. Everybody like, we're gonna go under this thing right now. And when we broke into, they covered it up 2-3 times, but we broke in it every time. And everybody said, we're gonna share these, everybody. This is where everybody, the whole apartment, we all got this. And my nanny from New Orleans, she do music, and she tried to get Lil Wayne, wanted me to get Lil Wayne the CD. And Lil Wayne the CD, but Lil Wayne was so busy focusing on squadding them up at the time. It was all about them, and I'm having a CD and my the download, the digital down. I still love all my squad up albums. I don't care what they're going through. I still love all my squad up albums. I don't care about all of that, man. Y'all shook the foundation of those things. And sometimes people got to move past that, and T Street and all the rest of them. Nothing that got and they got to move past that and make business happen. Do everything with lawyers now and come together, man. Squad. Everybody loves Squad Up. Master 300. I'm a big fan of Master 300. Was bumping it. So I was just talking to my dad. My dad, like, he said it's bad to come down there and all of that. I said, hold up. I was just back then in 2011, and I talked to him. I said, I ain't never had a problem. I was in East Livingston in New Orleans. I said, what's up? How y'all doing? How everybody doing? My last time was in there in 2011. I ain't never had a problem. I'm in East by Livingston. Over there where my dad's grandma had a house over there, and I'm staying by my dad's house. And I ain't never had that type of problem. I'm like, come on, man, like, what is bad now? No, we ain't never had that problem. I said, hey, how you doing? Kids was just staring at me. I ain't never had that problem back in 2011 when I went back to New Orleans. That was my last time. My mom went back there before me. And my last time was going into New Orleans and going back there. So I ain't never had that problem of walking out. My cousin and them still down there and everything. My nanny is still down there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never. And I don't want beef with nobody because master people. Because I remember I used to go to Fantasy Women and the girl used to play the little Romeo song with me. I don't need a girlfriend, and she used to kiss me on the cheeks every time at school. Like she was crazy about Romeo. Said I love Romeo and I love you. So I'm gonna kiss you on your cheeks every time. And like when I'm at Fantasy William Bus. And God said, don't forget, me being with you, Toka, Darlene, Big Bay, and all the rest of them in New Orleans, and all the rest of them, Plucky, Toby, Wardell, Chris on the West Bank. And I was just telling my brother Melissa, dating Melissa, Mooney was on a bounce video, Cornell. I got Cornell, my brother got Cornell in Jamaica. Mooney was on a bounce video in New Orleans. And me and her got into fights and me and her got into fights and stuff. But she got a baby by me and by one of my friends, Cornell, and we still got them. We're gonna have to talk, but we still got them. I got a baby, and Cornell is still down there in New Orleans, Jamaica. I think they moved down there once my friend Skittles died. Down there on the Conga Lakeland, and I remember us playing a mat in 2004. And I remember us playing over there in Madden, and we playing the Michael Vick game on the PlayStation. And we both played with Michael Vick. And Skittles, after we played, he moved my brother around the corner because we playing football on one on the east of Lakeland. Bang, 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 bang. And I'm like, damn, we just finished playing the game. Skittles, man, and seeing this kid and just seeing the stuff and imagine me in New Orleans East, this that hurted me because after we played football, after we got off the game and on the east of Lakeland, we playing football, and I'm going across the street, and you got a mechanic shop over there on the corner, and I stay right on the corner, and I used to go work at this mechanic shop, and this guy used to have this mechanic shop. We go across the street in this apartment. At the same time, I work at this, go across the street in this apartment, and I'm playing football with my friends, and I'm trying to go play football with them, and shit happened like that to my first school, and that is that is the most memorable thing where I'm just at a point where we at. I used to watch when I found out I wasn't supposed to be in high school. And then I didn't really find out until I moved and I moved to Metairie. And I didn't find out that I had to start back middle school back in Plano when I came after Katrina. Lil Boosie said that Birdman got ran out of New Orleans. And when Katrina happened, if Katrina would have happened, Lil Wayne would have still been in there. And I think that was a lie at the end of the day. When I was in Dallas County, people say I'm not from there. And I told them, we got two different mindsets. Two different mindsets, guys. It's the different mindset. We was raised this and we was taught different. The mentality, oh, I'm trying to get stripes, another dude. And I'm not trying to get stripes. I don't want stripes off you. I don't want no type because I'm being me. I'm being me. And when you being you, HUBERTSELLERS, Hubert Seller Jr., Get Money Start the Way Seller, Super Seller, Hubert Jr., Hubert Baby, Baby Legend. I got so many Instagram that you just gonna find it, guys, because I've been working. I've been working for a long time. I just think we just misunderstood, and our goons don't want to listen, and we misunderstood. But I said we can all make the difference. And I talk about the Crips in 1999 and forward. And one thing, his mentality different. And at the police messing with us and we all having a good time, go to civil rights. And we having a good time. It's a way that you can do things. I don't want no trouble. I was trying to attack this Social Security issue. This is not the trouble I've asked for. But people can start calling me stupid and Carrollton, Trap Boy, Freddie, Yellow Breeze, and Boosie, and them started acting up. I didn't ask for all of this. But God said I had to step things up when names was being called in the community in Carrollton. When names was being called out there in that McDonald's. I'm suing McDonald's right now. Names was being called in McDonald's in Browns. I don't expect y'all to understand me. I don't expect the goons to understand me. I don't expect the Bloods and the Crips. But y'all fight for something too, right? I know some people are not going to want to listen. They're going to be ignorant and not going to want to listen to me. I don't, this fight is great. And God said we got to go wherever the chips lie at. If the Walmart has set me, the CEOs has set me. I don't have to be on the streets in the studio. I can get people to get tracks. Me, around mirrors and them, around stuff around them. I can have people get a studio built in my big house and built in those things, and we can enjoy ourselves. I don't have to do that. And I don't have to pay attention to people on the streets that doing stuff. I don't have to do those things. When I get my money from Walmart, I can buy something, get my money from Browns looking at me. One time the actor said, stop talking about racism. We can see racism. It can be in the spirit. And that's something we must understand, and those matter. I didn't start all of this. I just wanted to be heard by my government, Social Security. I wanted to be heard because I get tired of, I wanted them to understand that, people told me they was proud of me at my local office. But it don't seem like it. It don't seem like it. You know what I'm saying? It don't seem like it. All of the battles that I'm facing them and have to go through because of democracy. And I don't want Ms. Lee to get fired if we're not understanding each other. I didn't want another caseworker if we not understanding each other more. And I don't want another caseworker. And I went to the local office. I didn't want another caseworker. And I saw this man. I didn't want that. But they need to understand when we are trying to grow. Let me tell you, 14 and 15 years old, I was going to jobs. I was working. We didn't spend all our time in the classroom at Newman Smith, even when I was at Mary Grimes and still a Newman Smith student. If I tell the Justice Department, tell me, go look at my yearbook, because that's not when I actually graduated. I had 3 more years left. I didn't graduate until 2010 to actually retire. In that final year. So, me going to thrift stores, helping out at thrift stores, going to businesses in Dallas, and going to stuff, having a job at 14 and 15. But I realized something being with Sabina and me just loving her, and I'm being around her, my relationship with Mirza I do music with, and the friends are getting jealous, the brand didn't match. When I'm listening to Master P, and I'm listening to Master P and the brand didn't match. Me keeping myself up and going to school and having that job and maintaining. My mama used to have to pick me up sometimes. And sometimes Kevion mama bring me to work sometimes. And do all of those things. And me having that friendship with Kevion. And my mama bring me, and sometimes I catch the bus over there after school at Newman Smith. I'm working at 14 and 15. I'm going to co-op. Whatever class I didn't take then, I'll take it the next year. And that's been since my first year. That been since my first year I started at Newman Smith. My teachers, we got the chance to get to know each other first in the classroom before we ventured out. And I just think that was one of the things with me and my classmates before I was able to take regular classes at. I always had regular PE when I was in New Orleans. I always had regular PE and I always had regular classes and was able to do different things, even when I was in New Orleans, because my ability, my before I left high school in New Orleans, and I found out I wasn't supposed to be in there. And my teacher in Medellin was the theater coach, was the wrestling coach. So when I think of Kurt Angle, I used to sit up in me at the when I think of Kurt Angle, I remember my wrestling coach had this jersey on in Medellin, New Orleans. Let me tell you, we had fights. Everybody had fights. But you know what we did? We got back out there and played every day in Medellin. And people might don't like me in Medellin, but let me tell you, we played football. We did a lot of things with each other in Medellin, New Orleans. And people kept catch back up. But they know every day we got it back outside. We got with each other. We challenge each other. We challenge each other. And met her in New Orleans, Louisiana. And that was the last place I was. I left after the storm happened and the water came up to my neck. And I left it at, we was in Toys R Us, everybody. And I came with like $30 pounds of clothes. You know, the thing I didn't like that U-Haul and Addison dealing with Taylor and U-Haul and Addison, she had some smart to say, I ain't never been through a struggle. And I said, how you know stuff and I lost something? I got bricks thrown at my face. I got stabbed there. How you know what I've been through, Taylor, at U-Haul? Talk is cheap when you don't know what somebody been through. And she got me on Facebook. I got a brick thrown at my face by Mooney. She's in New Orleans, but that's past. We learn how to forgive each other. And that's the biggest thing in that format. But some people take things too far. I remember Chris that played where she had 10 catch money records. I remember time I used to miss footballs. And he used to tell me, you better catch this football and punch, even though he was playing with me. But that's different from when we are playing football and different from the streets and different everything. And I made sure I started catching every ball. I remember one time when the Cowboys played the Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers threw the football on the sideline, bam. And I remember playing with Wardell. He had a thing around his mouth with baby. And I remember me and Wardell started chomping up. We started chomping up. And we go to church, and sometimes when we couldn't go outside, let me tell you something. When our parents didn't go outside, we stayed on the West Bank right behind the church. When we used to go to Birmingham. Everybody sneak out the back door when our parents go to work. And we play football in that churchyard. And some of the days we go to church and we do stuff and we enjoy each other. Those the most promising things. And God said, don't forget the things you had when you came here. Don't forget those things. Mick Mills, you know what you did. And the Justice Department knows. So God said your time is on the clock running out. We told him my family and my family get touched and my brothers and them get touched. That's going to be a big problem. That's a death sentence because they know knowledge is power, not lies. You think when that character police told me you're doing good at picking up books, I just made a complaint on your industry for threats. I just made a complaint on your industry for threats. You think that's really against a disability? You think that's really the rest of that? You think that's really? When everybody looking at me in character and calling me stupid, God said, don't run out and let me have peace. Everything that's happened because the mayor, when I called the mayor assistant, he didn't want to listen. The mayor is responsible. His action is not listened to as a government. His action caused this when I called about Social Security. His action caused this. His action when the local government told me to shut up when I called about Social Security. When I called about that and the call center gave me the number. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. But when we have disagreement with family, we work things out. We work it out. Not just family, America. We work things out, and we got to learn how to maintain those things. But the mayor is the problem. And y'all refuse to see these things. Sometimes I told Joe Biden this. If getting your perm, listen to that Big Sean by Lil Wayne. If getting your perm cross the line a little bit, just hope for somebody remember that, and you cross it with dignity and respect. Don't fault me for the mayor's problems. Mayor, you talk a good game, God sake. Your words don't mean nothing, but your racist punchlines mean something that God shouldn't think. That's what it means, something. I always been about growth, Mary A. Johnson. I always been about growth. Don't play the blame on game. And this is about Mick Mills, but don't play the blame on game and you have something to do with this situation. I had Obama and them attention, and I had CNN and them attention, I had and the rest of them attention. But it was time to get the call center attention. And while I was on my social media, I was on my other phone and I was on my other computer. This same computer I got in the front of me right now, I've been having. And I'm on other social media platforms, on Likey and all the rest of those things. Let me tell you, my buying, some people I got along with, some people I didn't get along with. I'm not going to say everybody on every platform I got along with, and every conversation I got along with. No, but the people that I can talk to on 3 or 4 hours on different apps and tell them about my idea, that is way important. I don't want to be loved and like I want to come to understand and still keeping the peace. Let me tell you, God is not, people say, yeah, God will die for us again. That is not actually true. God is not coming back on earth because he wants to understand the meaning. He wants y'all to learn from y'all lessons. Until y'all learn from y'all lessons, he watches y'all. Why would he come back and you still a threat to him? Why would he be seen and you still haven't learned? God saying different times. I was in Dallas County and people telling me, there's so many stories, we're in the line, so many stories, I don't know what to believe in Dallas County. God's showing you different times. He's showing y'all every human going through different things. Europe went through different things. Leader went through different things to attack different things in Egypt. All the rest of those things, when the time period came for them to not to be on this earth no more, when the successor had the pass. In Egypt, and all the rest of them, when the successor, they passed the successor to their daughter and their son. We understand those things of great leaders of Egypt, of Rome, and all the rest of these empires. We understand those things. Let me tell you something. Michael Vick, when I was playing, Michael Vick was the fastest. When you go look up Michael Vick, he runs the 95. You know, when Michael Vick get on that field, Michael Vick ever get back in the NFL, you know, if Michael Vick ever get back to the NFL, that's a trouble for people. People gonna have trouble with Michael Vick. Michael Vick started to run. Everybody know when Michael Vick can be on that 1 yard line, and his team can protect him, and he's gone. You don't want to give Michael Vick that open space. And I think when I watched that Jamie Foxx movie, they was copying off Michael Vick and the way Michael Vick did it. Because we know when Michael Vick on that 1 yard line, you know the athletics Michael Vick had when he played for Atlanta. And when he's able to flip around and able to move it, Michael Vick is not like no other athlete. You can't compare Michael Vick to any other athlete. Either when he did what he did, you can't do that. Those things that you cannot do. And we have to understand those goals. Those are the things you cannot do. People can say all other great players. Just because Michael Vick haven't run a Super Bowl, his skills was much more important than anything. And we have to look at that with Michael Vick. And we go and watch Michael Vick. Michael Vick, the Atlanta quarterback. And we have to realize that with Michael Vick. We have to realize those things with Michael Vick and what he's able to do. You know, I was just mad when Michael Vick left. The Atlanta Falcons gave up on him. They gave up on him. I didn't respect that. That's the thing I didn't respect. But the Eagles gave him a chance, and we got to respect McNabb and the rest of them for giving him that chance, because when people don't give people a chance, and he was able to go into Philadelphia and he was able to do things, man. And if Michael Vick ever come back to the NFL, that's a threat for the NFL. That's a threat for everybody. That's a threat. That's really a threat. That's really gonna be a threat for everybody. And people don't know that they give Michael Vick that protection he need in that thing, in the quarterbacks. Everybody give him that protection he need to spread around the field. That's gonna be the biggest problem with Michael Vick. That's gonna be the biggest problem with that situation. He's gonna be a threat to people. And that's the biggest threat people gonna be at Michael Vick. You better watch out if he ever get back on that field. He decided to retire, but let me tell you, he's gonna be a threat to you. And you shouldn't realize what the skills Michael Vick got and what he did for Atlanta. And people didn't realize that. I hated that situation. So we have to understand those things, or with those situations where Michael Vick was the biggest threat in the NFL when they let him loose on that field. Michael Vick were in the 95. They know when Michael Vick when we played Madden, when Michael Vick take off on that damn course. I see the game and Bow Wow playing Madden and playing stuff with each other and doing all of that. They know when Michael Vick is on that game, he take off on that game, he's gone. But what you don't want Michael Vick to get back in the NFL and the people giving him that time in the pocket. And I think the NFL didn't see his value enough. And I think they still not see, when they tossed him to the side, still not seeing the American value of Michael Vick and still taking him for granted. And I think he's still been taken for granted. I think Michael Vick is still being taken for granted by the NFL. And I really think those things are happening with those things. Michael Vick probably didn't even want to tell you, but when you get tired of people tossing you to the side and not realizing your worth and what you can do on the field, where else can you go? And I think when he went with the Jets was doing that to him. The Jets let him sit on the sideline most of the time. They were doing that to him. So it's the same thing with Kaepernick and the rest of them. No, people make mistakes. My little brother Keith, my stepbrother Keith, he played football, okay? He's played football, and he was good at what he do. My stepbrother Keith in Dallas and Oak Cliff. And he's good at what he do. And you know, he didn't make it to football, and they gave up on him. He's supposed to be in the NFL right now. But he was in the store with his friends, but his students, and he lost his scholarship. He lost his scholarship. He should be in the NFL playing football right now. He lost his scholarship. We go to football games in Oak Cliff and the rest of him, and I watch my stepbrother play. He should be in the NFL, but these schools and these NFL players and these draft, they don't give chance. You got to go to compound. Instead of giving up on them, you want to just stop and do the rest of these things. And at these NFL, they don't even have to have nothing to do with it. But you make them lose their career. They can be outside of a store and you can make them lose their career. You think that's fair? Don't think not fair when we talking about we just hanging around, we not going in the store with them. And y'all leaders don't know how to address things. Y'all don't know how to prioritize, and y'all don't know how to do things. And that's where the problem's at. You leaders don't know how to address things. My stepbrother Keith in Oak Cliff, he should be on the football field right now. He should be on a Cowboys team. He should be in somebody's college doing something. But y'all, the way y'all democracy, way y'all hold y'all, the way y'all do things, y'all need to change. And I think if y'all don't take a stand, everybody's not involved, and you're not in a scope, and these colleges and these high schools are not in the scope and the situation. And these high schools are not looking at the situation more deeper than anything. The high schools not looking at the situation than anything and no matter. I was on Twitter account and I was talking about my ideas. What in the NFL, in the NBA and the NFL and the Women's League. And what if I tell the Justice Department, they already know I was on Twitter. They already know I was on Joe Biden, because I was on their Twitter and the Senator's Twitter account and Governor Abbott's Twitter. I was on everybody's Twitter putting myself out there. I was on HBO with Doug Miller, putting myself out there. I didn't care. I'm willing to put myself out there, God said. And I'm going on Obama, Senator Harris, all the senators' situation on Twitter. I'm going out there and I'm just putting myself out there. I don't care. And what we fight for is great, and I'm putting myself out there. Walmart, when Doug Miller got interviewed at Walmart on HBO, I'm on his Twitter. I'm on HBO Twitter accounts. I'm on Instagram. I'm going on Senator Ted. The criticism, God said we hear the criticism loud and clear, but I'm willing to take it. But some people take things too far. So Mick Mills, you can do what you want, Mick Mills. They was watching already. I want you to hear me. God wants you to hear me. God, y'all don't know how to network. But I was just not being on people broadcast just to be an artist to play my music. I was going on people broadcast just to listen and grow that bond with them. It wasn't not just about me. And you have to understand that this situation that's going on in Dallas right now, where I'm not interacting with people because of the lies. The name calling. And God know when God told Moses to tell his friends to paint the wall with blood, God know the non-believer was going to be amongst the believers. That Carrollton police told me at that library, told me, Hubert, you're doing good at picking up a book. You're doing good at doing all of that. You don't know what was said out in that Carrollton, Texas, when y'all paying attention to Boosie and him. I've been watching Boosie for a long time before this even started. When Boosie going on Instagram, asking a girl talking about cash at me, and he said, hey, hold up, I bet you that nigga in the background, that same dude that talking about, hold up, let's find this nigga, let's find who he is. I've been studying Boosie for a long time before this even started. I've been watching you. I'm an analyzer. When you was in the club with MO3 and I was sitting on the sidelines before this, I've been watching you. You think I wasn't watching you the whole time? I've been studying you, analyzing you. Yellow Breezy, when you left to go to jail and you left in jail and y'all niggas before, I was watching you. I was watching you in that hotel. I watched you in Atlanta. My eyes have been on you for a while. You think I have not been studying you and I don't got all of y'all figured out? Trump been watching my social media since Atlanta and I've been watching. You think I don't have this all figured out? You think I'm really that on UP Live and other leaders got in touch with other people? You're dealing with stuff way above your pay grade. You're dealing with stuff wherever you're part. I didn't start this role. You're dealing with stuff way above your pay grade, dude. That song you made about me to stop my relationship, right? Oh, that was a good thing. I commend you for that. I commend you for those things, right? I commend you for that. But let me tell you the thing with me and Sabina. Before we got into an argument, her mom, before me and Mirza started hanging out, it wasn't time for me and her to be together. After all of the stuff that I seen in my relationship of being with someone I love, the touching from Demir and Patrick and the Nerman touching on her under the table and doing those things under the table. And I'm seeing someone I love and I don't want nobody else to touch it. And it hurted me. It hurted me to see, because I have to wait and I have to be humble and just to be close to her. Imagine when you kids and you can't make love to the girl that you want. And we both wanted each other. We was willing to break the rules, and just have a kid in Mary's house. But you know what I said? It was about building your mom trust. And I was like, man. Even though I wanted to this, we kissed on each other every time. We kissed each other lips on that sofa with Mary's, and we wanted to do all of these things. But I said to myself, it was going to be a time that we was going to be together. And I say, it was about gaining the mom trust. And we kids, I'm in high school, she in middle school, and it's about gaining the trust. So it's hard for me to abide by mama rules, and I have to be patient on someone I love. I tell you something in my relationship, not just when you go on my music and Texas music with my relationship. And I tell you these things. I don't hate it. That's not the price that I'm willing to pay of hating someone, love. But the thing I hate being around Demir and them, I don't like the way you and Sabina act and how y'all act towards each other. Okay, what is the problem? What is the problem with this situation? And every time I came on with stuff and I had clothes and I had shoes, I come home from work, we play a song by Drake, The Best I Ever Had, music going for us, and we played in Carrollton, Texas. The best I ever had. The best I ever had. And me working at 14 and 15 years old. And you got stuff they never wore yet. And that's what our song. But I didn't like it when we was in the apartment and Demira said something. We in the middle. I want Mick Mills to hear me. This is Demira. This is me in the middle. This is Sabina. Us three in the middle. This is me. This is Demira. This is Sabina. And this is me. No, let me stand myself. This is me. This is my mind is going somewhere. This is Demira. This is Sabina. And this is me. But Demira said she said something good about me, and Demira said, so what? And I saw her facial expression. Sorry about that, guys, because I'm trying to make sure it all sinks. And I saw her facial expression of they let words affect them of someone they love and care about. They let words affect them of someone they care about. Christina let intimidation happen. And all the rest of this. Shit. I'm talking to this girl. I told this girl Cora no many times. And she get mad and once and all of that. And then when I break up with Sabina in Carrollton, Texas, and I give her a chance, and she get mad and break up with me. I'm staying at Addison with Ricky, and she got a cat, and she get mad and want to leave. How you like it? I said, hold up right fast. Hold up. I give you a chance, Cora, and you can't take it. You can't take it. You can't, you like, come on, man. That don't mean you get back at somebody where they've been faithful in a relationship. That don't mean you get back at somebody and you play those games. And I'm like, hold up, you're not being a woman. But she had other stuff going on. It doesn't matter what you think. You had other stuff going on. Let me tell you, I told Samantha, if I ask Samantha right now, Samantha that's in Dallas, her boyfriend, she coming to I'm dating this girl named Orion. And I'm going to tell Samantha, and Samantha in Dallas, I just talked to her. I'm dating this girl Orion. I just messaged her when I told her to stay away from these old Cliff and Dallas niggas. And I told her I'm suing McDonald's and Brahms right now and Walmart right now. And I told him that, so God said, when this is said and done, we can chill, and remember the good times that we had. But I told her, you remember that time we went by that girl house? I'm dating this Iranian chick. She Chinese. She stayed in full work. And y'all come to my house and we have candles and we do the candles in the bedroom and we shower each other and you and your boyfriend having sex. And the reason why that relationship broke up, because I confronted Samantha about it, her boyfriend, and I confronted her about the situation in Dallas, this Oak Cliff nigga, this Dallas nigga, and I confronted her about it. And I told him, and she went off on him. And my girlfriend came at me, no, because he don't supposed to cross that line. When you come and tell me something, you don't supposed to cross that line. I didn't. The reason why that relationship didn't work because the religion factors. Her mom, she was hiding in front of her mom. Her mom was a very, she had a voodoo thing. And even though she picked me up in her car, she used to have to sneak away from her mom. And she go to school, college. And I'm going to the hotel in Fort Worth. And we go and eat at the bar. And we go and eat at the bar, and I'm like, hold on, we eating at she giving me money out the tip jar to eat at the bar in Fort Worth. We eating at the bar and I'm watching the Maverick game while she worked to keep me out of trouble. Even when me and Sabina was not together, she was on that buffooning. This girl passed through at the car at Mira's house. But these girls that dealing, and another girl, I'm not dating Sabina. Another girl, all this was at different times. And all this was at different, she had other stuff going on, the sneaky stuff that she was lying to me about. So, and I've been known about it. And she just couldn't be, Demira had told me since Sky was able to tell me. But I said to myself in that relationship, since Demira telling me and everybody telling me, we would have to wait for her to this be honest and ready to tell me. I said, there's a reason why Demira telling me and Sky and telling me, and this to be patient with this situation. We waited, we've been patient with it. So let this be patient with it. You know what I'm saying? And every time at school, I get out of school and I ask her every time, let this be patient with it. You, Demira, had the balls to tell me. You, Demira, had the balls to tell me, and I respect him for that. Usually had the balls to tell me, and that's respect. Usually had the balls to tell me, and that makes it more of the conversation. Usually had the balls to tell me. But I really don't need her at this moment. I really don't need her. I really don't need her at this moment. That's just the case of the situation. God said, y'all don't know depression. You don't know depression. You don't know nothing. Because the heart is dripping. I realized that with Sabina, the heart is dripping. The heart is dripping. When I hardly couldn't get up on my bed and say, God, I know I love her. I know I love her, and I know we can't be together. And God said, my heart, God just pushed my spirit back up. He just tell me to keep moving, Hubert. Keep moving. Just tell me to keep moving. My heart is dripping. It's dripping. I can't hardly get out of my bed when I miss her every morning. But God keep me going. God said, we got to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing. But let me tell you something. I don't need the Texas legislator to change their mind or Walmart because they should have never judged. God said you are being judged. The way you handle things, Texas senators and Texas legislators and judges, you are being judged. And I'm telling the Texas legislator, every legislator, God said, I don't need you to change your mind about me. I don't need this industry. God said, you are being judged. The same people that's casting a stone, we're going to tell us, I don't need none of you to change your mind about me. Every leader, Joe Biden, I don't need you to change your mind about me, but God said, you are being judged the way you handle things. God said, you got the power. But God knows UATBAT Junior SEL. God know one thing. Numbers was most great into my crucifixion. Even though people believed in me, I didn't want my mom to die. That's not the problem. The numbers was more greater. I'm going to tell every leader and every judge, I don't need you to change your mind about me. I don't need Texas legislators with their behavior. I don't need none of them to change their mind. But let me tell you, my Social Security should follow me everywhere. Not just in America and London. I have the right to choose because God, life, world is everywhere in America, everywhere around this world. Even though when some people don't believe with different flags. I don't need your approval. The only approval I need in God, and God have given me the green. God has given me the green light. Big Mills. I'm gonna tell every leader, God, I don't need your approval. God said I don't need your approval. Only approval I need is God in the heavens. So when you change your mind and I don't need your approval, and I don't need Texas approval. They're the one that said I still be on my Social Security. They the one that said that we're gonna tell a civil rights, tell a Justice Department, I don't need your approval. I don't need you to change your mind about me. I don't need these women. Some of these women at Walmart, I don't need them. The people at 1216, I don't need the Walmart employees. I want something better. Everybody that ever turned me down, I need something better. You hear me? I need something better than people in Dallas. I need something better. I don't want them to change their mind about me. People that I asked out and they asked out. I don't need them to change their mind about me. I don't need your validation. I don't need your validation. God said we don't need it. We don't need your validation. We don't need your validation. We're going to tell Walmart, we don't need you to change your mind. Pay me what you're going to pay me if that's the case. We don't need your validation. We don't need you when you judge in this business. We don't need your validation. We don't need that. God said we don't need Walmart to change their mind. We don't need. Are we going to tell a civil rights leader,